Hello, welcome all. Myself Kiran. I am from Department of ISV. Today we will learn about photosynthesis. That is how the plants make their own food and the magic behind the plant growth. And let us see the outline. Introduction. What is meant by photosynthesis? Photosynthesis equation. Two stages of photosynthesis. Light dependent reaction. Light independent reaction. Light independent reaction is nothing but a Calvin cycle and the factors affecting the photosynthesis, importance of photosynthesis, and we end the session with a conclusion. First let us see the introduction. Photosynthesis is the heartbeat of our planet because with the help of the photosynthesis, we are able to make a living on the earth. That is, without the help of photosynthesis, we humans can't live because from the process of photosynthesis, we are getting oxygen, and with the help of photosynthesis, plants can prepare their own food. And these two are very essential for human beings for their survival on the earth. And this is one of the magic trick uh, is critical for our ecosystem and all the life on the earth, and it forms the basis of the food chain. And let us see about this in the further slides. Okay, and let us see what is meant by photosynthesis. A photosynthesis is a magic trick performed by the plants, and it is a process where they use the sunlight to turn the carbon dioxide and the water into a special energy rich compound called glucose. And I had given a simple diagram where a carbon dioxide and water enter the plant, and in the presence of the sunlight, the plant is able to prepare a glucose, and as a byproduct, it is able to liberate oxygen, which is very essential for human beings, as it helps the human being for breathing all those things, etc. And let us see the photosynthesis equation. Here is a magic formula for photosynthesis where 6 molecule of carbon dioxide and 6 molecule of water in the presence of the light energy, that is sun, and in the chlorophyll we get a 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. And let us see the explanation regarding the equation. Plant take the carbon dioxide from the air through a tiny pores in their leaves. That is, the plant will be taking the CO2 molecule from the atmosphere through the leaves with the help of the stomata, and they drink the water from the soil through the roots. And when the sunlight energy kisses the leaves, plant work their magic. That is, they combine the CO2 and the H2O to make the glucose, which is like energy packed food. As a bonus, they give us the fresh oxygen molecules. That is, I had given a diagram where the water enters the root and the carbon dioxide enters the plant using the stomata of the leaves, and the light energy falls. When all these combine, they produce a glucose molecule and a oxygen. And let us see the stages of the photosynthesis. First, I will explain the two stages of photosynthesis with the help of one diagram, and then again I come back to this slide. Let us see the two stages of the photosynthesis. That is, one is light dependent reaction, other one is light independent reaction. Light independent reaction is nothing but the Calvin cycle, which is on the right, and the light dependent reaction is on the left. Just I will give you an overview where a light falls on the granum. I will tell what is granum in the further slides. Just think, uh, just uh, uh, just listen to what I am saying. The light falls on the granum, and H2O is splitted into oxygen, and we get the energy, that is ATP and NADPH. Okay, and this is the light dependent reaction where, because this light dependent reaction, because it is dependent on light, so we use the term light dependent reaction. Okay, and whatsoever the product, that is ATP and NADPH from the light dependent reaction is used in the Calvin cycle, and they combine with the CO2, we get a glucose molecule. And we go back to the previous slide. I will tell the explanation regarding this. And light dependent reaction, think of this as the plant solar power plant. It it happens in the leaf solar panels, the chloroplast. Here the sunlight, as shown the sunshine icon, is absorbed and the water is split, represented by water molecule splitting, to produce oxygen and energy molecules like ATP and NADPH. ATP and NADPH are the energy molecules. Okay, Calvin cycle, that is light independent reaction, because Calvin cycle doesn't need a light uh, for the reaction to proceed. So it is a light independent reaction. and it's like a plant's kitchen. Okay, and the CO2 whatsoever that the CO2 that is enter the plant using the leaves, it combined with the energy rich molecules from the previous stage to form a glucose molecule. And let us see these two stages in brief in the further slides. And the light dependent reaction, when and where it takes place in the chloroplast. Okay, and they have special structures called thylakoid membrane. I told you, right? A granum means a stack of these thylakoid membranes. Okay, here the light dependent reaction will take place, and on the granum we have a chlorophyll where the plant's sun spawns, and it's like a superhero that captures the sunlight and uses its power to split the water into oxygen and energy, and the energy molecules are like plant batteries storing sunlight energy for future use. And I had given a organelle of the organelle called chloroplast, where you can see it's a double membrane structure and a stack of thylakoid membrane called granum. And here in the granum, the what is that? Light dependent reaction will take place, and I had given an arrow where a thylakoid membrane and the stack of the thylakoid membrane is called in the second diagram. The stack of thylakoid membrane is called uh, granum, and the magnified view of thylakoid membrane in the third diagram where we can see the chloroplast, and in the when sunlight falls on it, the H2O molecule is split into oxygen, and we get energy rich compound that is ATP and NADPH. And let us see the light independent reaction. It can happen in the daytime or in the night, because it usually happens in the daytime, but sometimes it happens usually in the night time, but sometimes it happens in the daytime, because when the plants need more energy, it happens at the daytime also sometimes. And it occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast, and it's a light independent reaction because it doesn't need any light for the reaction to go on. And what occurs here, the conversion of the CO2 into glucose. Imagine CO2 molecules coming into the kitchen. They join with other molecules with the help of ATP and NADPH. And ATP and NADPH comes from the previous stage. Okay, and energy from the previous stage. Over a time, these puzzle pieces click together, forming a glucose, which is like a plant's energy packed food. That's what we eat, right? The glucose means in the indirect form. And let us see the Calvin cycle where ATP and NADPH from the previous stage is utilized, and the CO2 comes from the air, and they combine together to form the sugars. Okay, and the factors affecting the photosynthesis. There are a lot of factors affecting the photosynthesis. Among them, we study the three factors, that is light intensity, a temperature, and the carbon dioxide levels. And if the light intensity is more light intensity means they can produce more food, and that is we get more glucose. If the intensity with the light is less, they produce less glucose. Okay, that is directly proportional. And the temperature, it is inversely proportional because the rate of photosynthesis is inversely proportional to the temperature. As the temperature increases, the rate of photosynthesis decreases, and vice versa. Okay, and the carbon dioxide levels, because if we increase the carbon dioxide levels, that is reactant, obviously the product will increase, right? So the glucose molecules will be more. Okay, that is directly proportional. The CO2 is like a secret ingredient for plant food, and it's not enough CO2 around. Plants cannot cook much glucose. That is, it's a reactant, right? It is. We can visualize it as suppose you are making one food. If you don't have the raw material to make the food, the amount of food that is produced will be less, right? The same works here also. If the amount of carbon dioxide is very less, the amount of glucose that is produced by the plant will be also very less, because it is the main raw material, or we can consider it as a reactant. So the CO2, mm, the, so more CO2 mirror the plants. And importance of photosynthesis, it is very crucial for life, because photosynthesis is like a heart of our plant. It keeps everything alive, because the oxygen that we exhale and what the oxygen that we inhale comes from the photosynthesis. That is, which is a very complex process. Without the help of this photosynthesis, no oxygen, and when no oxygen, no life can survive, that is human beings cannot survive on the earth, right? And oxygen production, the plant give us something special like oxygen. They take the carbon dioxide and give us the oxygen we breathe. It's like the earth oxygen factory. Yeah, the photosynthesis is like earth oxygen factory because it produces oxygen, right? And food to all. We know that what the food that we get on the food that we get from the plants, right? Photosynthesis is like a big kitchen where the plants cook up the food. That is, we get the glucose, and this food feeds not only plants but also animals and us. And it's like the ultimate for whole ecosystem. And the energy sources, photosynthesis stores energy in glucose, and when we eat the plants or the eating plant eating animals, we get energy. That is like a battery charging station for the life on earth. That is, we get energy from the food, right? That's what it says. And the conclusions, the summary. So, in a nutshell, the photosynthesis is like a nature's magic trick. Plants use sunlight to make the food and provide us oxygen. It's done in two stages: light dependent reaction and a light independent reaction, as we discussed earlier. Okay, and the Earth life cycle, Earth lifeline. It's a Earth lifeline because photosynthesis isn't just important; it's essential for our planet. It gives us the air we breathe, the food we eat, and energy we need. Without it, life as we know it wouldn't be possible. That is, it's one of the indispensable things. Indispensable means without which we cannot survive. Okay, and thank you. I hope you enjoy the session. If you have any doubts, feel free to write the comments in the comment box. I will be there to clarify your doubts. Thank you.